The deluge is a metaphorical image to imply the flood of European settlers displacing Indigenous people. But what it depicts is mischief lifting up Indigenous children who are then, being handed up to some adults that are clinging to a rock. And these adults are dressed in traditional attire representing our ancestors. So my inspiration for this painting came from a visit to the Crystal Bridges Museum in Arkansas, where I asked the staff of the museum who are the first people of this territory. And they responded by saying that they didn't have any Indigenous people left in Arkansas because they were all displaced during the Trail of Tears. And so that would have been the Quapaw, the Caddo, the Osage, the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Muskogee, and the Seminole people were all displaced and forced into Oklahoma. Even though it was inspired by the events of Arkansas, it really speaks to the displacement and dispossession of First People all across the country, including my own ancestors from the area of St. Peter's in Manitoba, where my great-grandmother was born, and that community was forcibly removed during the late 19th century, early 20th century. The community of Cree and Saulteaux people were disbanded and pushed off into different territories, and my great-grandmother was displaced and moved 3 times. So the main references really came from other paintings in art history from a variety of different artists that made paintings of the deluge, the flood, as told through the biblical story. But then I was also looking at the paintings of John McStanley and Martin Johnson Heade. Martin Johnson Heade was a botanical and natural painter, and I really just loved his paintings of hummingbirds and orchids, so I used those in this painting. Mischief's beaded dress was inspired by Valentino's collaboration with the Métis artist Christy Belcourt. I wanted to celebrate that collaboration because it was a very sensitive and thoughtful collaboration between a mainstream fashion house and an Indigenous artist. This painting celebrates resiliency, and a lot of my work is to honor and to commend Indigenous people for their incredible resiliency through acts of genocide, like the dispossession of our people from our territories. This painting is really celebrating the efforts of many people to hang on to our languages, to reclaim our languages, and to find inspiration in our creativity from our own traditions.